catches, puts up a three. Won't go. Rebound Bosh. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Tie game with 5 seconds remaining.
Oh yeah. We packing somebody up tonight. Hey. Come on in, take your shoes off before we close the door. Few rules, heat packing the air. We about to blow. This the basement, ain't nobody safe. You already know. Grab a seat and kick your feet before you get too comfortable. You want the X's and the O's, the trade, yes and no. Friends and the foes, the butlers and the heroes. You can feel it in your soul. The win the ring is the goal. But if somebody need to go, we be sure to let you know. Going hard for my dogs is an everyday thing. Like Jimmy down the lane of 13 off the screen. Whole squad keep it tucked like number 17. Bring your takes and your memes. Going hard for the team. Going down in the basement. It's going down in the basement. Get your takes off. Get your takes off. Going down in the basement.
Yeah! Hey, yo, check me out. Listen, I feel like we have done a disservice, ladies and gentlemen. Since the beginning of this network, we have not given credit to the person responsible for that fire-ass intro song, and that's on me because that's my guy. So shout out to the homie Official Doe for the dopest intro song in the game. Want to make sure that we give him credit for that. Shout out to our producers, Ant and Justin, for putting together a nice intro video for us. Them boys stay working, so we always gonna have new shit for y'all. But yo, welcome to the motherfucking basement, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Royal A. Shepherd, and I'm joined today by my girl Jess, my man Hot Take Harry, and y'all see them up top. Them two beautiful kings, my boys TJ and Threat. So listen, y'all. Listen. Our guy, Adam Borai, put out a tweet today that lit Twitter on fire. You hear me? If KD is Boston bound, I keep my eye on Miami trying to get involved in the deal to try and snag Jaylen Brown. Brown, a free agent in 2 years, has big fans within certain high-ranking Heat officials, according to sources. He's also, the boy just took the tweet down midway through me reading it. He's so well liked that some would even prefer him over Mitchell. Appreciate that. So since Adam Borai couldn't be here to kind of give us his thoughts or expand on that tweet, we're here to aggregate and spin our own narratives based off of what he said. So let's throw this bitch to TJ first. TJ, I mean, what did that sound like to you first and foremost, bro? I don't want to, kind of give my screen just yet. Go ahead.
Hey, man, it's something. We've been dying in this offseason for a move to be made. I feel like the league is waiting on this KD move, and now we hear, hey, the Heat big fans of that boy JB. And the real JB showed up in the finals, and I like him. I don't know, that Jaylen Brown guy, he might not be able to dribble, but the boy is a bucket, and I need something on my team. So if KD is going to Boston, swing JB to South Beach, baby. I'm all for it. Obviously, I still got my Kevin Evander agenda that's going to continue until it's no more, until it's dead. Bring KD to my team, but if that's not the case, then Jaylen Brown is definitely second on my list of Heat priorities this offseason.
That's pretty elite to say. Like, to put JB second, that means that you're putting them over Mitchell in terms of people that you want to grab in this offseason. So that's a pretty interesting thought. Also, I want to shout you out for that DBZ shirt, Kane.
Oh, you already, bro.
Beautiful work for the Blurs out here, boy. Jess, I don't know, man. Like, you like Jaylen Brown over Donovan Mitchell in terms of the pecking order of people that the Heat should prioritize if we miss out on KD?
Listen, I do, and that might be a controversial take. I can lay out kind of a few of the pros and cons, like I'm sure we're going to do throughout this, but we know Jaylen can't dribble. We see your name on here. We know. So, but to me, that might be the only thing that he really, really has to work on. I was preaching all throughout the finals. I'm like, this dude, I tweeted this the other day, averaged 2 more points than Tatum in the finals. Game 6, he dropped 30-something while Tatum had like 13 points. And they wouldn't be there without him. So the fact that he's even being considered in these trade talks where I really don't think they would have made it to the finals without him is surprising to me. But look, when it comes down to the Donovan and Jaylen, like Donovan's a better playmaker. He can handle the ball. He's a better free throw shooter. Okay, whatever. The guy is a cone on defense. So, to me, and if we're going to talk about Heat culture and whatever, we're all about defense. I know someone in the chat said they didn't give a shit about defense earlier. I didn't like that. But anyway, Jaylen, we know, can play defense. We know that he's a real hooper, and I think he'd be a great fit. He's 6'6". We can have him or have Jimmy play the 3, whatever. I think it'll be fine. It'd be fun to see them on the court together. But I think he's a great fit. I think they both have that dog in them, but I think Jaylen's proven it even more, especially coming off this offseason now. So that's where I'm at.
You think Jaylen's proven it more than Jimmy?
No, than Donovan.
No. Okay.
Chill.
Oh, jeez, I almost jumped up out the chat right.
No, absolutely.
Don't scare me like that. Okay. So now we can get back to the ball talk. I think you make some pretty interesting points when you talk about Jaylen Brown. Yeah, of course he doesn't dribble, but the defense thing, I think I'm with the group that kind of pissed you off. Like, I don't really give a shit about him being able to play defense. We have all world defenders. I think his offensive punch is kind of what we would be looking for. Harry, I don't think Jaylen Brown is as good of a dribbler as anybody in the league, to be honest with you, especially not Donovan Mitchell. But would he jump Donovan Mitchell in your pecking order of people that you would like to see, if the Heat miss out on Kevin Durant?
Yeah, I like Brown better too. I think a lot of it is just like he's been the complimentary star before, so he would kind of fit in better. You kind of have a guy who likes to shoot from the corner, and kind of he's been working around Tatum his whole career. He played 1 year before Tatum got there, so that probably fits a little better with Mitchell as a guy that's going to be on the ball a lot, so more Jimmy off ball, and so I kind of think that I like the fit. Also, I think what you have to think about with the tweet that Adam put out was like, if the Nets want Brown, right, they're going to want him to sign an extension. And if he doesn't want to do that, then why are they moving one guy who wants to be out of Brooklyn for another guy who's going to eventually leave? And so that's kind of where, if KD is going to end up in Boston, they got to figure out a place that Brown wants to be, because where he's only got 2 years left. So where he wants to sign an extension is going to dictate kind of where he ends up. And that's kind of where the possibilities open. But I like his game. Like you said, he's not a good dribbler, but I think that's something that can be worked on. And everything else about his game is really good. I think I saw a stat that he shot 72% at the rim last season. So he's really good at getting to the paint. That's kind of exactly what the Heat need. And I don't see why that wouldn't be a perfect fit in Miami, Wispo with the Heat. Yeah,
I think one thing I will disagree with you on is I don't think like Jaylen Brown's presence would move Jimmy off the ball anymore. Like I think, like we've seen, like Jaylen Brown is a better off-ball player than he is on-ball, and I just kind of think he would slide in similarly to where I guess he would usurp Bam in terms of pecking order of people touching the ball. But Kyle still will be here. Kyle will still be the primary facilitator. Jimmy will get his chances. Bam is kind of where I see that being where he gets in there. Yes, as you see on the ticker below, make sure y'all leave the video a like. Y'all know this is a new network. We got to get this shit up. Make sure y'all leave us some likes. Leave a subscribe if you're not already subscribed to the basement. And as y'all see, my guy, the Canadian Kyrie, just jumped in here. Ariel Attias, welcome to the show, my boy. You can move around all you want to. You are not finna jump this Kang in this rotation. Be quiet. Threat, get your shit off before we let Ariel talk.
I'm so glad we went to me first. Because this is what Rosa Parks at in the front four. But anyways, I'm completely against everybody on this fucking panel. I think everybody has lost their fucking minds. What the fuck is going on in the last 24 hours? Because we hear the name Jaylen Brown, we automatically ascend him to new fucking heights. This nigga is not one of them ones. I'm sorry. I'm here to tell you now. Jaylen Brown being a good defender, false. That nigga was getting hunted in the playoffs. Granted, Celtics had a good starting five and all them niggas was good defenders, but he was the one getting hunted. So let's cut that out right there. 2, Jaylen Brown is the number 2 guy. He's not seeing the same defensive assignments that these other guys are seeing. You know what I'm saying? We talking about, some people are throwing out Tatum. He's better than Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum is seeing PJ Tucker and other guys. Jaylen Brown is not seeing those type of defenders at the same time. We were seeing him get thrown on with Tyler Hero. You know what I'm saying? He's not, you know what I'm saying? I don't know where this ascension for Jaylen Brown is coming, but he's really not that. And we talking about Donovan Mitchell. We talking about, he was previously number 5 all-time playoffs points per game. And we talking about Jaylen Brown, who hasn't averaged, granted, you know what I'm saying, he had a slow start to his career. He doesn't average 20 points per game for his career in the playoffs right now. Granted, he's getting better, but he's still not there. He's a better off-ball player. He's not a better playmaker. Who is he gonna make better? You know what I'm saying? Like, he could get a shot off on his own, and yeah, that's cute and all, but bro, I just don't think he's better than. I don't think he's a better option for us than KD, and I don't think he's a better option than fucking Donovan Mitchell, bro. I just feel like people are throwing him to be this great fucking fantastic player right now because he's being mentioned with the Heat, but we gotta come back to reality. The talks today have been insane, bro.
So what I'm hearing you saying is that this is more recency bias than actually what it is in basketball. Ariel, I kind of want you to jump in here because everybody else is on the opposite end of the spectrum where they got JB jumping Donovan Mitchell in terms of what we should go after if we miss on Kevin Durant. Where are you? Is JB really a better fit for this team than a Donovan Mitchell would be?
So first of all, I take great offense to you referring to me as Kyrie Irving. I am vaccinated 3 times. Furthermore,
but you don't show up to work. Like,
that's true.
You missed half of last season.
Yeah, but you could have compared me to, like, I don't know, Kevin Durant from 2 years ago. Anyways, doesn't matter. So
you're not him.
All right, bro, we'll talk later. So I generally don't like agreeing with the majority of the panel, and I dislike disagreeing with Threat as well. But I think Threat, I think you're completely wrong, bro. Jaylen Brown, look, the idea, I don't know who it was. It might have been you, Royal, that mentioned that you don't think that Jaylen Brown would kind of surpass Jimmy in terms of, like, being the top guy on offense on this team if he were here. But I disagree with you.
That's not
what you said. Okay,
I want to make sure I put it in the proper context. I don't think that he would usurp Jimmy Butler in terms of, like, being a primary ball handler.
I would generally agree with you, but I looked this up earlier, and Jaylen Brown's usage rate is 4%. Like, his usage rate was 30.5% last season. Jimmy Butler was just at about 26%, and Jimmy was the number one guy on the Heat, while Jaylen Brown is playing next to Jason Tatum, who's a super high usage player. So I don't totally agree with that. I do think that if the Heat got Jaylen Brown, that he would be the primary guy on offense, which is probably a good thing for Jimmy. I do prefer him to Donovan Mitchell. The idea that Donovan Mitchell's a decent ball handler. He's not like a fantastic ball handler. He gets to the rim and he gets downhill because he beats guys with his first step. He's super athletic. He's crazy quick, all of that shit. But Jaylen Brown's first step is fantastic too. That's why his ball handling, if you're not putting the ball in his hands and having him bring it up the court every single time, having him initiate the offense, it doesn't matter as much, right? Like, if you he gets in trouble when he tries to do too much. So if you kind of take the ball out of his hands in terms of him initiating the offense and use him as a play finisher more so, that's where he's most effective. He gets downhill the same way that Donovan Mitchell does because his first step is super quick and he's just generally like a very explosive player. I like, off the ball, if you want to put the ball in Jimmy's hands and let him be the facilitator, and kind of work Jaylen Brown off ball. I think you made that point as well, Royal, that he's fantastic off ball. Like, he's a really good catch and shoot 3-point shooter, and like, he can cut and super explosive if Jimmy gets downhill and he finds Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's now beating his man to the rim just because of how quick he is. Like, I love the idea of Jaylen Brown in Miami, so I would prefer Jaylen Brown to Donovan Mitchell. I do think he's a better player because he plays both sides of the ball. I don't think there's a big gap on offense at all.
Okay, so let's kind of take this in a different direction because I do want to. What's up there?
Real quick, before. Bruh, like, I don't understand. Before today, in what world were we putting Jaylen Brown over Donovan Mitchell? I've never heard this talk before.
I would have. If you had asked me, I would have absolutely put him ahead.
TJ wanted to jump in. Go ahead, TJ.
Yeah.
I don't put JB over Donovan Mitchell in terms of basketball skills. I don't do that. I just do it from the way that I view team building. If you get Donovan Mitchell on this roster, you're probably going to have Kyle Lowry here as well. 2 little dudes playing guard, I don't want to see. That's just not what I want out of my basketball. I'd rather have the 6'6" dude along with Jimmy, along with Bam, just to size up in terms of how I view team building. I don't want to see 2 little 6-foot guards try to play defense. The defense is already nasty enough. You put Kyle out there, you put Donovan Mitchell out there, and Bam has to work a hell of a lot harder. So either the Heat are going to be great and Bam wins Defensive Player of the Year, and if he doesn't, the Heat were terrible. They're a 5 seed, and then we got to go up against like the Bucks or something in the second round. So I don't think JB's better than Donovan. I just like that he's taller.
See that I can agree with. I can agree with.
Give me 1 second, because I want to go around. I know Ariel wanted to jump in. I know you got another point that you want.
I just want to say one more thing.
Yeah, I get it. But really quickly, though, because I know we heard some of y'all opinions. I want to hear everybody's opinion. One word answer. Who's the better player, Donovan Mitchell or Jaylen Brown? I just want to know like where you guys are in that. TJ, who's the better player? I know what you're going to say, though. Because you
Donovan.
Jess?
Jaylen.
Harry?
JB.
Jimmy?
JB.
Okay. Jaylen Brown. You think Jaylen Brown's better than Donovan Mitchell? Ariel?
Big wings, bro. Jaylen Brown.
Okay. And you obviously think Donovan Mitchell's a better player, right? I personally think Donovan Mitchell's a better player. But no, go ahead, Ariel. I want to let you get your shit off real quick.
No, that was my point. I was going to say that inherently, like generally speaking, big wings are more valuable than scoring guards. You can find there are more scoring guards than there are high level like both ends of the court wings who can score and who are young. Like it's just harder to find. You can find a guy who can give you like 80% of what Donovan Mitchell more so than you can a guy who gives you what Jaylen Brown does, because it's hard to find 3-and-D wings who can get downhill, kind of create for themselves and do a whole lot of stuff. So I think he's a better player, and I also think that what he brings to the table is harder to find than what Donovan brings to the table.
So I also want to hear the other people who think that Jaylen is a better player. I kind of want to hear why that is. So Harry, we'll start with you this time. Like, why do you think Jaylen Brown's a better player than Donovan Mitchell?
Okay, I want to clarify because I don't know if my point was clear earlier. I thought JB was a better fit because he's used to playing off ball, whereas Mitchell has the ball in his hands more. So that's a tougher thing to do in Miami. I think Brown's become a very good player. He's about to be 26. Like I said, he can get to the rim at will. That's a skill that he'd need. He's a very good corner three-point shooter, and he's a good guy to fit within the offense. He's a good tool for Spo to have. Mitchell, you'd have to work around his game. He's going to have the ball a lot. Brown's a better fit to me. I like him better because of he's better on defense, like Ariel was saying. But I think the argument whether who's better, I don't know. I think he's the better fit, kind of what TJ was saying earlier.
Okay, so are you guys giving your answers based on like, so to Harry's point, are you guys giving your answer based on who's the better fit or like who's like the better player? Just like in what way was your answer framed? Like, is it who's the better fit or who's the better player individually?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, because they kind of go hand in hand, but they kind of don't. And I'm hearing this mindset of like maybe some of the way I'm feeling about Donovan now, and I was preaching him the other day. I love him. I still do. But now it's starting to feel just like so unrealistic. And I feel like we chase him every offseason and we just get like.
It's like Bradley Beal.
I just have this exactly. It's like we keep going over like that might be part of my bias. But anyway, when I'm saying Jaylen, like regardless as a player, I say it by a hair. And I happen to be someone, even in my basketball days, that really places a huge emphasis on defense. I think it's super important whether we have great defenders or not. I think just well-rounded players are so important. And when you look at guys like even like LeBron, like the guy can do everything. Everyone can, talk all their slander and whatever, but the guy can do everything. So when I feel like you're such a good player when you can do everything, and to me, it's like you compare them by category. Like to me, they're both kind of streaky shooters. But again, Jaylen can create shots for himself. He gets to the basket. If we can figure out this scenario where we have Bam not clogging up the paint, maybe even popping it out to him at the three like he's been practicing or working on his mid-range, whatever it is. So yeah, I'm thinking both like fit, but I'm also thinking like raw player. Like, look, Donovan averages more points, but at the end of the day, it's not about who scores the most, in my opinion. It's important, but it's not everything. And so I always look at a guy who's more well-rounded, and I happen to think it's him by a hair. I think, like I said earlier, the one thing he has to work on, if he could just figure out how to dribble the ball without getting stripped, without over-dribbling, like I have no complaints about the guy. I really don't.
We got Spo. Spo could teach that motherfucker how to dribble. But also, to your point, like, yeah, he might be the more well-rounded player, but don't we got enough fucking well-rounded players on this roster threat? Like, I mean, like, when it in terms of what you mean? No, like,
give me all the well. No, I'm asking you a question. Give me all the well-rounded players. Do it now on our team.
There's a lot of guys on this team that can play.
There's like two.
Go ahead.
There's a lot of well-rounded players, but there's levels to being well-rounded. You know what I'm saying? There's great well-rounded players like Bam, and then there's well-rounded players like Gabe who do it at a lower extent. You know what I'm saying? So we have a lot of those guys. We don't have a game breaker. Jaylen Brown is not giving you 36, 5, and 5 in a playoff series, bro. I'm just keeping it real. And I feel like that's what we need. We need that game breaker one option. You know what I'm saying? I feel like with a Jaylen addition, if Jaylen was to come here and then KD goes to Boston, I feel like it's another grit and grind trying to claw our way into that championship, bro. I just feel like it's going to be tough. It's a tough out with Jaylen because we don't have that consensus number one option. I feel like it's two tools battling to be that number one.
So here's what I want to kind of throw around the room, and I'm gonna throw this to you, TJ, because Jimmy was that one in the playoffs. We said we needed somebody to come along for the ride. Like, you don't think Jaylen could come along for the ride? And like, if Jimmy's playing that way, and we have Jaylen Brown, like, are we not in the finals this year?
You need a talent that's better offensively than Jimmy Butler.
Is Jaylen Brown that?
No, he's not that. He's not when Jimmy was in demon Jimmy mode. Like, Jaylen Brown is not that. He's a very good, like, he's a good second option. Is he good enough for you to, is he a good enough second option for you to win a championship? That's the real question. I think offensively he has the talent to be that. It's just, is he one of those guys where, hey, we need you to get us out of this rut? Our offense is struggling. Is he that dude? No, he's just not good enough. But I think he's good enough to be a very good second option on a championship team.
So first of all, I saw you comment up there. My boy Brian said we got some people in here viewing and not liking the video. Listen, it's 124 of y'all in here. It's nothing to leave us a like. It's free. Please do so. We appreciate y'all. We know y'all just forgot. That's why I'm reminding you right now. So kind of to TJ's point, Ariel, and I thought it's to you, bro. He's talking about getting some insurance, like, to help Jimmy Butler. And speaking of insurance, we want to thank the primary sponsor of the basement, which is Simply Health Insurance. Y'all know. Yeah, listen, ladies and gentlemen.
That man is so good.
Insurance does not need to be complicated. Email or give them a call today and tell them that the basement sent you. If you want to send my man James Poe an email him at jamespoe@simplyhealthadvisors.com or give him a phone call at 321-345-7738. Make sure you mention 5 Reasons Sports. Oh my God, that was the first one that the boy done got off. That feel good.
I disagree with everything that you said, but you are so good at that.
I appreciate it. But no, I kind of want to ask you, like, who's better insurance for Jimmy Butler? Is it, like, in terms of like what we needed in the playoffs? Is it Jaylen Brown, or is it the Donovan Mitchell guy that you hate? Like,
well, look, first of all, I'm a big fan of Donovan Mitchell, so I don't spin that narrative. Don't do that. No, stop it. But the answer is the guy who's more like Jimmy, right? Like, the best insurance for a player is the guy who's closest to him. Jaylen Brown, to me, is more of what Jimmy Butler gives you. He doesn't do he's not the level of, on-ball creator that Jimmy is. But again, big wing who can guard. And that's the other thing that, like, nobody's really talking about. We, said the word defense on here a couple of times.
Give me a second.
Yeah.
I said 5 reasons, bro. So the fuck what? I was there for 2 years, bro. Give me some time, bro. I got it. The basement. Y'all know what is going down in the basement. Y'all heard the song, man. Quit with the petty shit, bro. Yeah, I'm smoking what, sir? I am a him. Go ahead, Ariel.
Okay. Anyways, so we mentioned the word defense on here, but we didn't really get into it. One of my biggest concerns with the roster right now is that your next best wing defender after Jimmy is Caleb Martin. And, like, Caleb Martin will match up with some wings and, he'll do a good job on some, like, he can guard on ball. He can guard down. Like, he can guard quicker guards a little bit, but I don't like putting Caleb Martin on some of the better wings in the East. Like, if you're having him guard, like, elite level wings, Kevin Durant, maybe Jason Tatum if they match up again.
He's locking that ass up.
No, he's getting killed. Like, he's getting barbecued against those guys. And, like, to me, not that Jaylen Brown is stopping Kevin Durant, not that Jaylen Brown is stopping, Giannis, but, like, I feel way better putting him on those guys and not having to have Jimmy have to guard those guys, because that's what it is right now. Like, it's either Bam or it's Jimmy in a playoff series that's going to have to match up with those guys, and, like, that's going to take away from them offensively. So, losing PJ Tucker hurts a lot more than just, like, if you look at the numbers and whatever. We all know that. We watched the Heat last year. One of the most valuable things that he brought to the table was you could put him on the other team's best scorer, best front court scorer. And, like, he's not stopping the guy necessarily if it's a super elite level player, but you feel good about it because you don't have to use Bam or Jimmy maybe until the fourth quarter in those kind of situations. And now you've got Jaylen Brown, theoretically, who can do that and take some of that pressure off of Jimmy. And in the playoffs, that's going to matter in a long regular season where your best player is, he's not getting any younger, right? You want to take some of the load off of him. That matters. Like, that's half of the game right there. So to me, it's Jaylen Brown and the defensive part. Like, we're dismissing it because we saw the Heat lose 92-80 or whatever the score was in one of the games in the Boston series. But like, if you don't, like, it's gonna matter, man, because like Twan was saying earlier,
it's not wild, Heather.
It's not wild. Stop it.
It's not far-fetched at all, Heather.
We don't have to do this about Jimmy Butler just because he's good looking, man. Like, he's not. Like, he is not.
Yo, did y'all see how the Heat pays start biting my boy Kendale with the nasty work, Miami Heat social media account?
Oh yeah, he's back, my boy.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yo, so thank you to the unidentified celebrity review. The boy ain't give us no money because he can't yet. We on our way. But for the one time, Duncan
is a bum.
Fuck is you talking about? Harry, what are we missing in this conversation that we're not like? What nuance are we missing about this conversation that we haven't discussed yet?
I mean, I think, you're looking at two guys. I think Donovan's actually a month older than Brown. So maybe if you got 2 years left on his deal and you extend him, you'd actually have Brown under contract for longer. So, little things like that. I think it's a lot about who you think is going to be better in their prime. We can talk about that. We're not, we want offensive players, but to have a guy that can do what Brown does while also doing it on the defensive end, I feel like obviously for the Heat, we can talk about what we want personally, but the Heat are going to want two-way players. I mean, the big issue with Hero now is that he's a sleeve on defense, and he's, we make fun of his T-Rex arms, but that's really his issue. He's just a small guy. Yeah, I mean, that's also an issue too a lot of times. So, I kind of just think that's where it is. I totally understand where threat's coming from, and we've seen Mitchell be a much more prolific scorer in the postseason, especially. But I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility for Jaylen Brown. And again, we always talk about this, and I don't know if we applied enough. If we keep saying how good Spo is, how amazing he is, like, give him talented guys and let him craft a team around the talent. It's going to be the best version of Jaylen Brown. I know Ime Udoka is a good coach, and they had a nice season, but like, put Jaylen Brown with Spo, it's going to be a really elite combination, those two together.
Correct.
This conversation is pissing me off, and I am so angry that this is really a thing, because what is Jaylen Brown's most memorable playoff game? He had a 40-point game this year, and what else? What else has he done? What's the groundwork that he's laid for everybody to be gassing him up like this?
He was just in the finals threat, and he was arguably their best player in the finals.
Yeah,
he showed up.
He didn't have great game. He had 5 for 18, 9 for 19, 5 for 13 in the finals, bro. He didn't have this great, outstanding shooting game. He just put
but threat. Everyone gasses up Jason Tatum. He had a horrible finals. He was horrific. He couldn't make a shot at the basket. And it's like, what? Why can't we they're going to be. The Warriors were a great defensive team. Andrew Wiggins ate everybody up. Draymond was out there killing everybody. Like, they ran into a juggernaut of a team. But in terms of
I agree.
I don't know. I've always for the last few years, I've liked Brown better than Tatum, and so I'm playing the same kind of.
You was getting on Jess' nerves for a second, and I want to let her kind of come at your neck for a second.
Oh, I wanted to finish my point.
I'm sorry, Kang. You know how I do them. You know, break it around, baby. Give me I'll be back to you, ma'am. Go ahead.
I just wanted to finish up with the memorable performances. Jaylen also struggled against, and I don't know why Tatum got thrown in there. He was ass in that final series, but fucking Donovan Mitchell has stunned against great. We seen him 37, 39 against Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, bro. You know what I'm saying? We seen him do some against a great defense, against two great defenders on him the whole series almost. You know what I'm saying? We haven't seen that bag. We haven't seen that bag out of Jaylen Brown consistently, but one game, bro. We seen him put 50 ball twice, 57 and 51 in the same series, bro. Like, why is this a conversation?
Motherfucker was gassing Tyler Hero on 37, 38. Man, he had it above. I saw 50.
Bro, you need to Google Donovan Mitchell's playoff stats in 2022. Like, you can't just use one playoff series to make your whole argument.
Don't care.
You can do it. It can go the other way. You can make the same argument the other way.
Okay,
but he's been good. He's been good in every playoff series but one. Why is it but one?
He was not good this year.
Ariel, I'm not going to let you take this argument away from Jess. Jess has been sitting up there being patient, so I feel like she should be getting her shit in. Go ahead, Jess.
I'm going to be nice. I just have one thing.
No, why are you being nice?
Because I'm going to be nice. I cooled off a little bit while I was waiting.
Okay.
Listen. Jaylen, I don't give a shit about memorable games. Like, this man did his job. He averaged 23.5 in the playoffs. They were in Game 6 and in the finals because he was there when Tatum was choking. He needed that. And you know what? I'll take the 24 points per game any night on our team next to Jimmy, because that way Jimmy doesn't have to drop 40. And I don't care who it's coming from. If it's coming from somebody, it's obviously it didn't come from Hero or any of these guys on our squad. So if he can take that load off him a little bit, I'm down. If we're all so concerned about offense and, screw defense and whatever, then, like, how are we going to say no to that? And I'm talking, look, whoever's like, but Donovan this, that. Same contract, same whatever. Like, who are we going with? Like, I feel like you have to take Jaylen. And look, I'll be happy with either one. And I think the main thing that all of us felt coming off this finals was like, we cannot put Jimmy through this again, right? Let's make his life a little bit easier. We don't need a huge talent, like we need a guy that can do his job. And I think Jaylen's proven that he can do that and did that on this squad consistently this year. So I'll take that.
I think kind of like that's where the rest of the panel is parting ways from Threat. It's not that we need somebody to do their job, like, because nobody on the team outside of Jimmy really did their job. So in situations like those, when nobody ain't doing their fucking job, you need one man to do everybody's job. And I think what he's talking about is Donovan Mitchell has that capacity at a much higher level than Jaylen Brown has. Offensively, maybe not defensively, but offensively, like he does. Like, Ariel, you can crunch your face up.
That's half the game, bro. What are we doing?
You still not finna go before TJ. So I'm gonna let Jess go, and then I'm gonna let TJ go ahead.
I'm gonna get ripped for this, and I don't care whether it's you guys, whether it's other people. I genuinely think if Jimmy, Bam, and Hero had done what they had to do all year and did it in the playoffs, we would have been fine.
Well, yeah.
Because I don't think we have a talent deficiency on our team. I think we have guys that don't show up. Like, I really don't think it's a lack of talent. And look, that might be a very hot take. I definitely think that we could use another guy, but I don't think we need to, like, scrap the whole team and go after a superstar. Like, we'd love that. If I can land KD, I'm giving up whoever. If I can land one of these guys, like, listen, we'll negotiate. But these guys didn't show up. So many of these guys have raw talent. If they had just done what they needed to do, like, we have a good squad. And I know everyone wants to be like, this offseason and this and that, and we suck. I don't feel that way. But
I'm not gonna lie. Just a little bit. Like, when we talk about scrapping the whole team for Donovan Mitchell, at this point, I'm not feeling like that's what's gonna happen. I feel like the price is changing because he ain't moving. Like, he ain't gone nowhere yet for that asking price. Him nor has Kevin Durant moved for that asking price. And I feel like that price is going to come down to where we could get in that ball game. So the price thing, that's a different conversation altogether. But to my earlier point, though, like, am I tripping for saying that, we might need a game breaker because most people didn't show up this playoffs, TJ? Like, so to have another guy who just has a job?
I mean, I kind of agree with Jess. If you just had Tyler Hero being who he was in the regular season, bro, like, that changes the game for you completely. Because Game 7, regardless of what happened the entire series, bro, regardless of what happened against Atlanta, Game 7, bro, you needed one dude, bro. You needed one dude to show up. You needed one other person. Kyle Lowry, you was looking for him. He had one game in the Eastern Conference Final. He ain't show up the whole series. Game 7, Bam showed up. Jimmy showed up. We needed one other dude. And all of a sudden, that game looks a lot different. So whether it's Kevin Durant, whether it's Donovan Mitchell, whether it's Jaylen Brown, if Jimmy Butler is going to be this, if he's going to be the second coming of Michael Jordan in the playoffs, bro, if he's going to be that, and if Bam is going to figure out just what he wants to do offensively, what he wants to be, and continue to be the Greek god that he is defensively, I don't care who you get, bro. If you can get somebody who can give you 23 consistently, if you can get you somebody who can get you 22, somewhere around there consistently in the playoffs, bro, then by all means do what you got to do to get that guy, no matter what that looks like. And just for me personally, the reason I put Jaylen Brown over it is because he can give you that, and he can give you something on the defensive end. So yes, you can get Donovan Mitchell. He can give you 50 and everything like that. But you was a Tyler Hero away from being in the finals this year.
So I think, so this is a conversation that might piss me off because like that's what we were last year. This year, we are not that. Also, I think Ariel agrees with every word that you're saying. So I'm going to skip his ass again. I'm going to go to Threat, and then I'm going to go to Ariel after that so that Ariel can counter whatever it is Threat finna cook most of our ass with. Go ahead, Threat.
All this if talk from niggas who have shown you they are not it. 5 straight playoff series, Tyler Hero has underperformed. This didn't just happen last year. It happened the year before that. It happened the year before that. Bam has been under his regular season stats the last 2 playoff series, bro. All this if these niggas do this, if these niggas have shown you, bro, we need to go get somebody, bro. I'm tired of the if talk.
I agree with that.
I think we all agree with that. Yeah.
I'm not disputing that, bro. I'm just talking about game 7, bro. We did the post-game show. We said if one nigga showed up, bro, one, then we in the finals, bro. I don't care who it is, bro. I don't care if PJ Tucker decide he want to drop 17. I don't care if Caleb Martin decide he want to hit threes and drop 22. We needed one, bro. So I don't care what that looks like. Give me somebody consistent. Even if it's Colin Sexton, if the boy consistent, bring him on. I don't care.
I got you, Jess. Go ahead, Ariel.
I don't really have. I mean, I agree with Threat on that. Like, I think, like, let's not get it twisted. Either of these guys fill like at least 80% of what it is that the Heat are missing, right? Like, so either way, you get either of them, we're going to be on here celebrating. It's just like the whole point of this show is to kind of debate who we would prefer. So I agree with you. And yeah, like the thing is, like, yes, Jess is right. Obviously, like if Tyler Hero, if Bam for the majority of the playoffs, at least offensively, had kind of given you what they gave you in the regular season, the Heat would have been in the finals. Like that series was nip and tuck, went down to the last shot and Jimmy got little to no support offensively for the most part in that series. But yeah, like Threat's right. Like these dudes just, I mean, at a certain point, you can't just bank on what's that?
This person is smoking fucking rocks. I'm sorry. You are smoking big dicks, bro. Like that. What is you talking about?
First of all, how did Yurt Seven's name get bro? Bill Wellington, that boy, is he even on the roster anymore? I haven't seen this man play basketball since last summer.
Go ahead, Ariel. Finish your point, bro. I'm sorry.
You need one guy that can really get to his spot and get the shot. That's what you need in the playoffs. You need a guy that you feel comfortable with, giving the ball, and that he's gonna put you in a good situation to score. And they just didn't have that outside of Jimmy. And so that's kind of what we're saying here. Like whether it's Brown, whether it's Mitchell, obviously, if they could pull off a major KD trade, like that's what you need. You need a guy that you can give the ball to, regardless of what's going on in the game, and he's going to get you a bucket. And they just don't have that guy. And that's what they want Tyler to be. But like Threat's saying, he just hasn't shown it. Yeah. And so that's kind of where we're at. We're just at this unfortunate point where it's like you gotta extend him if he's going to be on the roster, but he hasn't shown it at the end of the year. He either gets hurt or he hasn't been that great in the postseason. And so that's kind of where we are. That's why all these trades are being, why they're being discussed and why we can't get off the topic is we just need another guy that can score next to Jimmy and we'll be fine. And that's kind of where we are. Bam practicing these dribble handoffs if I see another video, I'm going to lose my mind. Like why is that something that you have to practice? That's insane. I've never seen that before. I used to coach basketball. Dribble handoff is a great play. Why are you? No.
Did you trade your players before they were up for extensions, or just curious?
Yes. You all listen before they get old and they're
before they turn 14.
You move them for a second round pick.
Get them out of here.
Yeah. Like, I need a second round pick.
Move on. But seriously, why is that on video? If that's what you're practicing, fine. Don't show that to me. That's not. What are you doing? That frustrates me because I really think Bam could be a great offensive player. And don't do that crap. I'm done.
That shit with Kyle Lowry. Threat, you kind of put your hand up a couple of times to get that right. What's up, bro?
Yeah, they really threw a highlight mixtape of Bam doing dribble handoffs. That is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. But now, one thing I wanted to say, just to jump back to everybody, are we not equating with the acquisition if we were to get Jaylen Brown that KD then goes to Boston? Right. How does that put us over the Boston Celtics or the Milwaukee Bucks at that point. I'm curious to see for everybody who's for Jaylen, how are we going to be able to top those teams?
Well, Jess put her hand up, so I think she wanted this question. Go ahead, Jess.
I don't have an actual answer. I think it's out of our control how much better every other team gets, and it is going to be an issue. And you kind of want to work on your own team and be like, how can we be better than everyone else, not just be good ourselves? But I mean, look, I'm even worried about the Hawks, and I don't want to give Trae Young too much credit, but I'm worried about the other one. So I don't know. It's going to be tough, but all we can do is make sure our squad is solid enough that we can defend and that we can score on these people and that we can be competitive. But I mean, it's tough. And yeah, if he goes there, it's going to change things up a bit, but it's like, yeah, I think we got to focus on us. Like, I don't know what you do.
Just you sound like a female Ariel Attias.
What's that?
She sounds like female Ariel Attias. Just put the best team.
She knows ball.
Go ahead, Harry.
But Threat, the trade's going to happen whether we're a part of it or not. They'll find another team to make it happen. So why not? Why wouldn't we be the team to benefit from it, right? If KD decides that Boston's the answer, which I don't really get, but if that's something he decides and he wants to go play with Tatum and try to win in the East, like Brown's going to have to go somewhere most likely, even if the Nets decide they can't extend him. So I'd rather be the team that gets him in that situation. So no, I don't want to make our path harder. But if it's already going to be that way, I want to get better to try and.
Yo, is this shit real?
Yeah, they're not on the Christmas Day schedule, but it's because I think the Dolphins are. It's like Dolphins Packers, and maybe the NBA doesn't want them going head to head or something.
I don't give
Three
a
NFL
fuck.
games and yeah.
But he never played on Christmas. Who gives a
I
fuck?
don't give a fuck. They were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year.
So what? I mean, like this happens every year.
So what?
You know what happens? I think Spo is the best Christmas Day schedule ever, and they just don't want him to keep getting better.
Bro, they got the game
against Spo.
They got like the Pelicans game at 12 o'clock, like the matinee game on the year after they went to the finals. So like who gives a fuck?
I'm gonna be real.
Whatever, bro.
I'm gonna be real. Niggas do not want to watch the Heat play basketball, bro. We're the new age San Antonio. Bro, we don't even have a nigga who can do a 360 dunk or a windmill, bro. Like, niggas do not want to watch the Heat play, bro. We're going to do dribble handoffs and probably win the game. That's not exciting, bro.
It's going to be so tight.
I'm sorry, bro. We're going to lock up your best defender, and it's going to be a low-scoring game. That's not exciting, bro.
Isn't Santa doing dribble handoffs all night long? Like, isn't that kind of?
You feel me, Harry? You feel me? Like,
I don't know a ton about Christmas, but I feel like Santa's just dribbling handoff gifts and stuff. No, or that's not how it goes.
Nah, I ain't gonna hold y'all. We're not gonna do a whole hour tonight because it ain't no game. And I'm gonna pull back the curtain. Somebody said it earlier. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. None of us really give a fuck which one of them they get. Like, just being real with you, I don't give a shit. If you get either one of them, my team is better. Ha 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 ha. Suck my ass.
Hey, brother, good brother, speak for yourself. If we get Kevin Durant, I care.
Yeah. That's option 1 and 1A. Now, come on now. Let's be real. Now, Kevin is Heat. That's what we want. But if we miss out on Kevin and the consolation prize is Jaylen Brown or Donovan Mitchell, I'm still happy either way. So thank you guys in the comments as always for joining us, making the show much more fun than it would have been without you. Thank y'all, especially for the ones who stay here to the end to watch us talk about bullshit for this whole 42 minutes or whatever. Want to thank my girl Jess. Want to thank my man Hot Take Harry, Ariel, Attias, and of course the 2 members of the Kane Gang, my boy Threat and my man TJ. We'll see y'all next time. Play the video, Justin.
Yeah. We packing somebody up tonight. Hey. Come on in, take your shoes off before we close the door. Few rules, heat pack in the air. We about to blow. This the basement, ain't nobody safe. You already know. Grab a seat and kick your feet before you get too comfortable. You want the X's and the O's, the Trey, yes and no. Friends and the foes, the butlers and the heroes. You can feel it in your soul. But when the ring is the goal, but if somebody need to go, we be sure to let you know. Going hard for my dogs is an everyday thing. Like Jimmy down the lane of 13 off the screen. Whole squad keep it tucked like number 17. Bring your takes and your memes. Going hard for the team. Going down in the basement. It's going down in the basement. Get your takes off. Get your takes off. Going down in the basement.